So we'll just wait for just a couple minutes for everyone to hop on. Hope everybody is doing great. We are going to get started here in just a second. We'll let everybody jump on live. It's going to be probably about 10 minutes we're going to be together. So let's make sure I have technology working. Let me know that you're here. If you jump on live, say hi. We're going to be doing the giveaway this afternoon for those of you that commented on our sleep solutions inquiry post. We were trying to get an idea of what you're struggling with, how you need some help with sleep. So I'm going to be doing that random drawing today, and that's actually going to be for a bottle of vetiver. So we're trying to make our giveaways. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Mickey. Hi, Myra. Hi, Mickey. We're trying to make our giveaways very specific to you. Sorry you guys can't see me in this new screen sharing with Facebook Live. I can show you my screen, but I cannot show you my face at the same time. Hi, Debbie. Welcome, you guys. So what we're trying to bring to you every week are more solutions for you to help bring more wellness into your life. So that's what you're going to be seeing a lot of education on in our user group, is lots of solutions. So the entire month of September, we're talking about sleep solutions. And I really chose sleep as something to start with, because I knew it's foundational to your wellness, to your health, and to feeling well. If you're not sleeping well, sort of everything else in your wellness journey falls apart. So it's such an important foundation of sleep. And for me, myself personally, when I was struggling with sleep, I really didn't want to take sleeping pills. I had taken them in the past and really felt very groggy from them, did not feel good. You guys give me some hearts and likes if you can hear me, because I'm in this sharing mode and I just want to make sure that you can hear me. So give me a couple thumbs up or hearts. If you can hear me, let me know you can hear me. And so I really just wanted to start with a foundational piece of wellness, which is sleep. And what I didn't realize until I started using essential oils is what a vital element of assisting me in sleeping better they were. And so we're going to kind of go through this in a stepwise solution. There's many other things that can help us sleep well, but essential oils really became the key for me to sleeping great every single night. You guys, again, give me some hearts or something if you can hear me. I just want to make sure you can hear me. I see everybody's on live, but let me write in the comment section too. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Okay. So you guys let me know as we're moving forward if you can hear me. So week one, we're going to talk this week today about the basics of sleep, making sure you set yourself up for success. I want to give you an introduction to the oils that we are going to be talking about throughout this 4-week series. Week two, we're going to talk about how you use oils for topical and aromatic approaches for sleep. And the week three, we're going to talk about, if you've tried that, how you step up to using certain internal oils for sleep and those sleep solutions. And then week four, we're really going to be talking to the moms that, you know, have children that, like, you sleep fine, but you don't really sleep that great. Okay, great. Somebody gave me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Okay, so you can hear me. And then week four, we're going to talk about kids and sleep, because sometimes you're sleeping fine, but the reason that you're not sleeping is because your kid won't sleep. So we're going to talk about how to use essential oils, safe essential oils, to get your children to sleep. So week one, we're going to just talk about the basics, okay? So the top sleep oils and products we're going to cover in this series is lavender. While that's one of our most common oils that we talk about for sleep, it's often one that does not work fantastic for some women. We have to go a little bit deeper. So just know that if you've tried lavender and it hasn't worked for you, I'm going to give you some new solutions with that. Roman chamomile, sometimes an unknown oil for people related to sleep, great oil in children. Petitgrain, many of you have probably never tried before. It's actually got some of the same chemical constituents in it as lavender, and it's a fantastic oil for sleep. Marjoram, Clary sage, a very specific oil that's great for certain reasons why people can't sleep. Vetiver, we call it our liquid tranquilizer of oils. Wild orange, the Serenity blend, we're going to talk about what that is, the Peace blend, and of course, Serenity soft gels. So these are the topics that we're going to cover in our series, okay? And we're going to be talking about using them in all different kinds of ways. I'm going to explain to you which ones you can use topically, aromatically, internally, and we're going to kind of teach you a stepwise approach, right? So I want to really teach you, basically, we start this way. If it's not working for sleep, topical and aromatic, this is when we step up into internal, and this is the method that we use for internal. Okay, so let's just talk for 2 seconds. We won't get too sciencey on you. Those of you guys that know me know that I love science, but I won't spend too much time here. But I do want to stress to you the importance of how our olfactory system, essential oils impact our olfactory system and thereby impact our brain. And how do they actually create better sleep? Because I think there's some myths around this that people think, oh, wow, essential oils, can they really help me sleep better? Is that really true? But just so you know, there is a lot of science behind this, that they can not only help you fall asleep faster, but help you stay into a deeper sleep and get a more restful sleep, right? So we want to spend more time in that deep sleep and some of the REM sleep stages. So we have the olfactory system. That's how we inhale essential oils, right? It works on some of those neurons at the top of our nose that then directly connects to our limbic system of the brain. The limbic system of the brain really is the emotional center of the brain, but it also controls a lot of other bodily functions, basically respiratory, breathing, heart rate, emotions, behavior, and it also functions to work in our inhibitory system. So a GABA neurotransmitter and neurotransmitter receptors in our body are actually inhibitory in nature, meaning they help us slow down. So GABA is very, very important in having proper sleep. So as we activate some of those receptors, it's actually causing inhibition in the brain, meaning the brain starts to slow down, we start to relax, anxiety releases, the breathing slows down, the heart rate slows down, all the muscles relax, and then also melatonin, which is a hormone that's released not only from the gut, okay, from the gastrointestinal system, the GI system, and the pineal gland in the brain. So these two hormones, one neurotransmitter, one hormone, are extremely important in making sure that we fall asleep on time and that we stay asleep. So if you guys didn't know this, many essential oils that we use for sleep actually work on those GABA receptors. So that's why they actually work, and that's the science behind them. They're activating those GABA receptors, causing us to sort of, our body to slow down, getting our sort of mood and relaxation tone right and ready for sleep, which is so important. So there's my little science nuggets on why they actually work. There is real science behind them. It's not just voodoo. Okay, so how many hours of sleep do we really need? So we'll breeze through this. For those of you guys that have kids, there's a reason why they sleep more. Teenagers, there's a reason why they need a little bit more sleep too, up to 10 hours because of their hormone production. And in adults, we really need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Some of you find, okay, I've got to have 8 hours of sleep. Listen to your body on that. Some people can get away with 7 and just feel fine, but you really don't want to go beneath that 7 mark, that 7-hour mark. You really want to plan for that. So let's talk about some basic tips. You guys know I love essential oils. I know they provide so many solutions for so many things, but there's a million other things you can do from a wellness standpoint to make sure that you're sleeping great. So definitely want to avoid caffeine, alcohol, nicotine before bedtime. I know that's really hard. Sometimes you go out to dinner and have a couple drinks, and alcohol is known to help you fall asleep faster, but it does cause sleep disruption. So it usually will cause you to wake up in the middle of the night. So we're going to talk about this when we talk about different oils we use. So I'm going to teach you a solution when you go out and have dinner and have a couple of drinks, that you're going to want to do something different for your sleep regimen that night with your essential oil so you don't disrupt your sleep. Normally aromatically something may work for you, but that night if you have alcohol consumption, then you might want to step it up to internal. So we're going to talk about that. but try and avoid it at least 2 hours before bedtime. So sometimes what I will do is if we go to dinner at 6, then I try not to drink anything after 8. Like I don't have any wine after 8 o'clock. So that way, by the way, I'm hitting the pillow at 10 o'clock at night or 10:30. I don't have a ton of alcohol in my system. Hey, Jesselyn. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Gail. Hi, Blair. So exercise during the day. This is always great. And remember that exercise doesn't have to mean hitting the gym. It can also mean, going for a walk during your lunch. So avoiding heavy foods after 7 p.m. So if you eat a heavy meal at dinner time, lots of fats in it, make sure and take a couple of those Terrazyme digestive enzymes that doTERRA has, or try and push your meals towards 6 o'clock. Because what's going to happen is if you've eaten a heavy meal or high fatty foods, then your bile duct is going to be releasing lots of bile. You're going to be more prone to reflux when you lay down. So I tell people, if you do go out to dinner and have a heavy meal with alcohol, take some of that Terrazyme to digest some of your food. And then I'm going to give you a great regimen to sleep after you have that too. Okay. So I'm not saying you can't do those things, but you might need to adjust what you do. Avoid drinking too many liquids 2 hours before bedtime because you don't want to be up in the middle of the night urinating. That disrupts sleep. And you really have to come to a sleep awakening when you get up and get out of the bed and go to the bathroom. Try to avoid screen time 30 minutes before lights out. You guys, we have receptors in our eyes that detect light that tell our brain, be awake, be awake, be awake. So you really want to prepare your brain for sleep. Make it dark, and shining a bright light from your computer or your phone. I know it's hard. I have to teach myself not to do it. Is really, really important in getting great sleep. Please start your diffuser 30 minutes before lights out. So we're going to talk about this in week 2 next week when we talk about aromatic and topical. Is how important it is to just start the diffuser so the aroma is actually filling the room before you enter the room. So what I like to do, like when I'm bathing my children, I like to start their diffuser and start my diffuser. And we're going to talk about this next week, some key points. But remember, if you guys are not sleeping through the night and you only have a 4-hour diffuser, that's a problem, right? You need an 8 or 10-hour diffuser. Binaural beats. If you guys have not heard of binaural beats, they're amazing. So if you have trouble falling asleep, this is something we're going to talk about in the next slide. And you want your room dark and cold, okay? So some blackout shades, and you want the room between 60 and 67 degrees, okay? They've proven that people sleep better and sleep longer in a dark, cold room. Very important. Okay, so let's talk about you guys that have trouble falling asleep. Okay, so we heard a lot about this in your comments. Thank you for you guys that just jumped on. We're going to be doing the giveaway today. It's going to be for a free bottle of vetiver for all you guys that commented on my questions about sleep. So thank you so much for your engagement. And if you haven't commented, maybe go really quick right after this and go comment really quick, okay? Because I'll add you into the drawing. So for those of you guys that have trouble falling asleep, your biggest problem is going to be that you don't have a routine. So what we found with people that have trouble falling asleep is instituting that routine an hour before bedtime is key. And this even starts at dinner time. So changing up your diffuser regimen from maybe your citrus oils to something like Serenity, lavender, you're already prepping the body for sleep at that time, okay? Rubbing some calming oils on you, starting your diffuser in your bedroom, bath, taking a bath is very important. So remember that those of you that always have trouble shutting off your mind, really this begins after dinner time. The ability to fall asleep and you want to get your body into a relaxed state an hour or 2 before your head hits the pillow. So no screen time for those of you guys that have trouble falling asleep for an hour before bedtime, because that is signaling to your body that it's daytime and you need to be awake. It actually produces more cortisol, and you need that cortisol to go down in order to go to sleep. And for those of you guys that are going to be using an internal regimen for sleep that have trouble falling asleep, I really think you should be taking that internal regimen 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. I put 30 minutes here, but it's really 60 minutes, 30 to 60 minutes. What most of us do, okay, I'll take my Serenity soft gels and then I hop into bed. Nope, 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 nope. I want to start my diffuser 30 minutes before I plan on going to bed and go ahead and take my internal regimen then, because you're getting the body in that relaxed state. That way, when your head hits the pillow, you should be falling asleep within 5 to 10 minutes. And remember how I talked about those binaural beats? So those of you guys that have trouble shutting off your mind and trouble falling asleep, I want you just to go to Google, YouTube, and look up binaural beats sleep. Now, the brain works on frequencies, our body works on frequencies. So the binaural beats actually, yes, Mickey, I will be posting this video. Hey, Kathy, how are you? I will definitely be posting it afterwards. You can go back and watch it. You're good to go. So binaural beats for sleep are fantastic. And it's this nice little humming, and I use it from time to time when I cannot shut off my mind. I also love to take 10 minutes of just quiet mindfulness when my mind is kind of working too much and I'm having trouble falling asleep. So that, along with binaural beats and getting into that routine an hour before bedtime, is so important for those of you that are struggling to fall asleep. And those binaural beats, I don't know what they do to me, but I'm telling you, whenever I put them on, I'm like immediately asleep. Sort of amazing. So for those of you guys that have trouble staying asleep, it's usually because something is bringing you out of that deeper sleep, okay? And you have to identify the cause. So if it's a breathing or snoring issue, ask your partner. If you don't have a partner, if you wake up sort of feeling out of breath or catching your breath, then you may be having something called sleep altered breathing. You always need to get checked out with a physician first. But if you know you have breathing or snoring issues, the Breathe blend is going to be very important for you to use at sleep time. You may need to diffuse it. You may need to rub it on your chest. Are hormones an issue for you? Sometimes when women are perimenopausal, premenopausal, or in the menopausal, postmenopausal even, our hormones affect our sleep. So we may want to look towards that essential oil clary sage, which is fantastic for inducing sleep, and is also known to help us balance our hormones. That's a fantastic one. And for those of you guys that are woken up with hormonal surges and hot flashes, remember peppermint is going to be your best friend for that. Peppermint can sometimes be stimulating, but what I will tell people to do is rub some deep blue on their back if they're having hot flashes, or keep a bottle of peppermint spray beside their bed. So at night when you're having that peppermint literally brings down the body temperature. It's really important. Do you grind your teeth? Then you really need to also be applying lavender topically to the jaw to sort of relax those jaw muscles. And usually with teeth grinding, I find that we have to go to an internal regimen to get that to stop. You guys are the people that wake up with headaches and jaw tension, and you never feel rested. And so we usually have to go to internal regimen and use lavender topically along the jaw, along with internal, aromatic. Frequent urination, try and keep those citrus oils out of your water by the end of the day, and try and really cut your water consumption 2 hours before bedtime, okay? That means you need to be drinking a lot throughout the day so you're nice and hydrated, but the last thing you want to do if you wake up in the middle of the night to pee is to drink an entire glass of water before you go to bed. And if you just don't feel like you're getting a deep, restful sleep, we're going to talk about how you use every single modality and how that is important. So topical, aromatic, and internal, to make sure you're getting into that deep sleep. So there's so many ways we use essential oils for sleep, right? You're almost always, I have some people, God bless them, they're less than 10% of people that I encounter, but my husband is one of them. They can rub lavender topically on their feet and they sleep fantastic. Hooray for those people. I am not one of them. But most always, you guys are always going to be having to use topical plus aromatic for sleep. And I can tell you this, that aromatic was so dramatic for me as far as improving my sleep that I didn't even have to use topical. And so what a fantastic thing for me, because I just fill up the diffuser and I know it's going to work. Now, I love to use topical an hour before bedtime because it sort of gets me into that routine. So we're going to also be talking about aromatic. The key is when and where. So starting your diffuser before you go into your bedroom to go to sleep, so the room is filled with the aroma, making sure it's right next to your bed, okay? Making sure you have an 8 to 10 hour diffuser. For those of you guys that have a 4 to 6 hour diffuser and you're trying to use it for nighttime sleep and to stop waking up in the middle of the night, you really need to get one of those Lumo diffusers. It lasts 10 hours. It's fantastic. And then we're going to talk about in week 3, if topical and aromatic are not enough for you, you've tried those, you've tried some oils, different experimentation with oils, then we need to move to the internal regimen. And we're going to talk only in week 3 about what you can use for the internal regimen for sleep. Always know that spraying your pillows and linens is a beautiful thing to do. I love to put it on my dryer balls for my sheets, and I love to spray down my sheets at night before I go to bed. And then number 5, just be willing to experiment. So marjoram doesn't work for me. Lavender doesn't work for me aromatically. I had to be willing to experiment with vetiver. And then I had to be willing to experiment with a couple other things to see if there was something else out there that worked just as well as vetiver. So just know that part of this journey with essential oils is experimenting to sort of finding your right blend, your right sleep oil. Okay, so you guys, this was the longest live that I'm going to do. I'm going to try and keep them in the next few weeks to 10 minutes or less so you can have a little lunch learning break, okay? So stay tuned for next week on Wednesday when we'll talk about which oils to use topically and aromatically. Join in to learn some of my special blends that are tried and true. I've worked with hundreds of people on getting them to sleep well, and I have a few little tips and tricks that are bona fide guaranteed to get you sleeping better. So next week, we're going to talk about aromatic and topically, the things that you can do. And the goal is by the end of the September that you feel super educated on how to use essential oils for sleep, that you are sleeping great, and that when other people tell you they're not sleeping great, you tell them, hey, guess what? I have a solution for you. Let me tell you about this. So thanks for you guys that joined on live. So good to see all of you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. This was just our basic introduction, just to sort of get you prepped and ready to start learning how to use oils for sleep. So you guys have a happy Wellness Wednesday, and we will see you next week.